Hey guys, today I want to continue on my beginner's guide series where I talk about all the different heroes in the particular area that they fit in the meta, combined with what I recommend practicing on those heroes. Today we're going to be talking about Anub'arak. Anub'arak's probably one of the lowest health tanks in the game, but he has some of the best lockdowns and crowd control out of all the tanks, as well as he has a decent amount of spell armor put into his kit naturally without picking any extra talents, but he does have extra talents for it to where he can excel against mage compositions. Currently, he has two meta builds. They pretty much vary on just two or three different talents, and the big thing about Anub'arak to know is he has a lot of situational talents that are still very good. So while these builds may seem pretty similar, I think in this case I only changed a Bed of Barbs in the Hero League version of the build. I believe instead of Acid Drench, the pros have been running a Fire, and instead of Bed of Barbs, they've been running Underking. But he has a lot of situational talents and a few pretty good builds, so don't let that discourage you. He's played on a few common maps. The maps that I find that he's best on are maps that he can jump over walls, like Tomb of the Spider Queen, or maps where you can take very short fights and win the fights like Sky Temple. Because while he does have some of the best lockdowns in the game, he has a lot of trouble with managing his mana. So let's pop into try mode, and I'm going to talk about a few of the things that I would recommend trying out on Anub'arak. One of the major things that I recommend testing out is practicing jumping over walls using his E and pressing the E again so you can land right on the enemy to knock them up, followed by a slow. The other thing that I like recommending is following up your E with another CC and practicing rewind to reset all of that. In this case, I jump on him, I use my CC, I rewind, I jump on him again, I use my CC, and you can see how much damage I'm able to get off in a short amount of time. That's one of the things that I would highly recommend practicing on Anub'arak is comboing these. The next thing that I would recommend is practicing getting Cocoon, understanding the range of Cocoon, so you don't toss out a Cocoon that makes it to where a low health enemy's here that you could have killed him, because that could make it to where Cocoon's actually bad to use. He's one of the few characters that has an ult that can actually screw up your team if you use it at the wrong time. So practicing using Cocoon at a good time is very important. From my perspective, I don't think that there's a perfect rule of thumb of the perfect times you should Cocoon who. However, what I like to do is, my favorite Cocoon is when the enemies are running away, you Cocoon someone, because then it forces the enemies to decide, do we want to go back into an unfavorable fight to save that person, or just let someone die? Because it has such a low cooldown. Say, for instance, these enemies were running in this direction. Just a quick Cocoon here. Now they need to decide, do we want to keep running in this direction, or try to fight down a person? In most cases, they decide to just leave, and you can take out whoever it is, blow them up pretty quickly, and do whatever you need to. The next Cocoon that I like is if the enemies have a single tank or a single healer, it's very important to Cocoon them, because then it forces the enemies to fight without one of their major roles. Say, for instance, these minions were the actual enemy team. We could Cocoon their only tank, jump right onto their backline, and just blow apart their backline. Now that their backline's dead, it's very easy for us to take out the tank as he just gets out of the Cocoon. So these are definitely things that I would highly recommend practicing in try mode, as well as practicing in versus AI before you get into a real game, making sure that you're really good at managing his abilities, and understanding that using his abilities too much can cost a lot of mana. One of the talents that the pros like picking is Burning Rage, and one of the reasons why the pros like picking Burning Rage is because it doesn't take mana to clear waves. So manage your mana and practice some of these things in try mode and versus AI before you even get into real games. If you have any other questions, toss in the comments below. I'm sure people that have played Anub'arak a little bit more will be glad to help you out. Thank you very much for watching, and feel free to check out some of my other videos by subscribing and clicking that bell next to it to get notified when I bring out new ones. Thank you again.